Okay, this is a general oracle card reading for the Leos for next month in January. And I'm going to be doing the readings a little different than what I've been doing them. I'm only going to pull out 4 cards because the other one sometimes was way too time consuming. Though, like 4 cards for like 4 weeks in a month. And I gotta say that the third card that came out, 3 cards jumped out, so I will be leaving them there. And I'm going to start trying to read the cards upside down as well if they come up upside down. So I'm going to be doing this for a few months, and if anybody tells me it's not working or the reading don't make sense, then I'll stop. But if for the few months nobody says anything and it seems to be working, I'll just keep reading it like that. Okay, the first card that came up was actually one that popped up upside down. And that was the Shadow Queen, acquiring knowledge and security manipulation. And being that it came up upside down, I'm going to be more focused on the negative side, insecurity manipulation. Now, this can be you and this can be someone else. This might be you that's a manipulator, you're really insecure. Or this could be someone else that's a manipulator, and they're insecure, or they're leaving you feeling insecure. You know, sometimes when you cut a manipulator out of your life, there's still healing that has to take place because you feel really insecure with yourself. Now, realize that not all Leos are the same person. You might be all Leo, but you're not all the same person. So the energy might affect you differently than it does in other Leos. So take it as what makes sense to you. And if the card had come right side up, I would have focused more on acquiring knowledge rather than manipulation. But it came upside down, so that's how I'm going to read it. The Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries. This came right side up, so I'm going to take it as that you are setting boundaries, whether you're setting boundaries for yourself or someone else. But there's going to be boundaries set. Sometimes we need to set boundaries with ourselves because we don't understand when we're going too far. I think most people in general do know, and they have set those boundaries for themselves, but there's still a few out there that have a little trouble with that. And some people, they don't know how to set boundaries with others. They let people take advantage of them. So you might be setting boundaries for yourself, and you might be setting boundaries for others. Take what makes sense to you personally. Also, if you're setting boundaries with others, this does not mean that everybody around you is taking advantage of you. It just means that they're working and functioning in the way that you've allowed them to. So they may not be bad people at all. It's just you've been allowing them to take advantage. Maybe you give more than what you should. Like you don't reserve enough energy for yourself. So sometimes it doesn't mean the other people are taking advantage of you. It's just you, like, I'm not really sure how to word this. It's just you haven't set boundaries with people, so they may unintentionally be taking advantage of you, if that makes any sense. So, just don't think that you have to hate these people because they may not be bad people at all. It's just you haven't set boundaries. I try to make that clear because sometimes, some might take it the wrong way and be like, everyone takes advantage of me. It's like, no, kinda, but not exactly their fault. You just never set boundaries with them. And I can tell you, those that will respect that boundaries, even if it takes them a little work to start respecting it, those are good friends to keep them. Those that cannot respect those boundaries, and it's like they keep testing the waters and whatnot and seeing how far you let them go, yeah, those are probably some people you want to kick out of your life now. They don't. That's just my personal opinion, though, okay? The third card that came up, the Phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change, the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. The Jewel's dragon, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. Now, wait, yep, there we go. I didn't flash the cards yet. And this one came upside down. So I'll read it in a second and then try to use my intuition of what I feel from it. The Phoenix resurrection, surrender to change. That just means you need to surrender to change. It's a new life, a new beginning, something that's, a better, healthier life for you. But you do need to surrender to change, whether it be changes in your actions, changes in your thinking, changes in the way you handle things, changing who you are. You know, maybe you already know what that change is. Go with the flow with it. It's going to be okay. And maybe you don't know what that change is. And my suggestion is just, test the waters of things and see what seems to be working and what doesn't. To get an idea of what you can surrender to better your life. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. That just means you have angelic help here guiding you in a bigger picture that you may not fully be aware or understand yet. And if you don't believe in angels, that's fine. Just replace it with the word or deity or whatever you prefer. Alright, the Jewel's Dragon, inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. It came upside down, so I'm going to have to read it from... Honestly, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what this card means to me yet. It's a journey. I'm going to learn it together. But yeah, usually when the card pulled up for me before when I was doing readings, it's, there's an inner conflict. Between, maybe your head and your heart. Maybe there's a decision you have to make and you don't know which choice to choose. It also makes me think of karma. But I don't think it would be karma, because I would think if it came right side up more, then it would be something more connected with karma, something that's meant to process and go through as a way to learn and experience and grow. But it came upside down, so I'm going to lead more towards there's a problem in your morality. There's a choice that has to be made. And you are really fucking confused. You're like, I don't know what I want to do. If it makes you feel any better, do remember that you have the Phoenix and the Eagle King that, popped up for you too. That might mean, the Eagle King. Trust your intuition to help guide you and surrender to this change. Which would make sense that this card might come up if you have to surrender to change, because you might be having an inner conflict of, what if I want to keep doing this the old way versus maybe I should do this the new way. Sometimes it's a little difficult when you're more in a rhythm and understanding of something, and then having to change that. I mean, kind of like with somebody who tries to quit smoking. I mean, a lot of it is not just that, it's supposed to help relieve stress, but it also leaves a lot of damage on the body, which can create stress. But your body's already become in the habit and the motion of doing this all the time that, if you're not doing something that you're in the habit of doing something, your mind might immediately snap into stress like, wait a second, this isn't familiar, this doesn't make sense. It's more healthy, though, to quit smoking. So it might be difficult. It might feel like difficult to try to quit smoking. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to quit smoking or that you are a smoker. It's just an example I'm giving, okay? So, use your imagination of whatever it is that's going on in your life that maybe you're having a difficult time letting go and surrendering to change. Just trust your intuition. Trust that angelic help or deity or whatever it is that you like to communicate with. Even if you don't believe in a deity, maybe you just believe in a higher self or your own intuition. Just follow that then to try to help yourself conquer through that inner turmoil and that, having difficulty surrendering to the change, having difficulty letting go the old way and starting on anew. The last card is the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance. Now, that sounds like a good, positive card to me to come up after this whole, conflict going on. That might even mean that you have surrendered to the change and you are finding out that it makes you more happy, more joyful, makes you want to celebrate life a little bit more. Maybe there's an abundance of celebration and happiness and joyfulness in your soul. But yeah, and maybe it has nothing to do with these three cards. I don't know. It could be something completely different, but being that it popped up, I'm thinking it's a good thing because that's a happy, joyful card, and it came right side up, so... Hi, Babushka. Kitty came to say hi. Well, Leos, I hope you enjoyed your reading. If not, I will still flash the cards to you and let you use your own intuition, what you feel you think it means. And I will flip it right side up as well, because if upside down doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. Okay. Mostly because I know maybe the majority of you, maybe the card coming up upside down makes sense, but there might be a few out there that it coming upside down didn't make any sense, so, you know, I'll flip it right side up just for you. Alright, Leos, you have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, whenever you're watching this. Goodbye, you have a good one.